Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the DMAX National Championships here at Daytona Tamworth for round 2 of the season. Starting with the heavyweights and the intermediates, Ross Sandwell and Anthony Wypych make up the front row of the grid in the intermediates. Kuba Wozniak and Justin Elliott, row 2 of the grid. Bradley Philpott and Alfie Shrub, row 3, with Sonny Zacharias starting in 7th. Alex Pritchard starts on pole position. Ashley Mason-King alongside him on the front row of the grid. Henry Lopez-Gracie will be in 3rd spot at the start of this one. So looking to the lights for the start of this Inters and Heavies race. It's lights out and away we go. Good start for Ross Sandwell into the first corner. Gets himself clear of Anthony Wypych, making their way into turn 3 for the first time. Brad Philpott trying to make up a little bit of ground down the inside line. Ross Sandwell holding on to the lead for the time being, but Wypych waiting for a time to attack and into turn 4, goes down the inside line and gets the lead of the race as well. So Anthony Wypych into the lead. There's Kuba Wozniak having a little look around the outside line. Justin Elliott involved as well. Brad Philpott with a fantastic view of this into turn 6, dives down the inside line and manages to get past one of the drivers. Kuba Wozniak, who comes back at him down the inside line into turn number 7, and well, Brad Philpott, after looking like he might take Justin Elliott as well, ends up staying in at 5th position. But there goes the battle for the lead once again. It's going to be Ross Sandwell through on Anthony Wypych. Wypych now losing a position to Justin Elliott as well, who tries to brave it around the outside line to complete that move. Wypych defends wonderfully. What can Wozniak get out of this battle as he makes his way into the first corner, trying to work with Brad Philpott behind, who's watching the battle for this lead. Lap 2 of 12 in this race. Not long for the drivers to make this one work as Brad Philpott now looks to the inside line of Kuba Wozniak. It's going to be late on the brakes for Brad, and he squeezes through as well. So Wozniak trying to come back at him now into turn 5 to the outside line. Isn't able to find a way through. Will now try the outside into turn 6, but I think Philpott's probably placed his car in the right place there. Doesn't quite have the legs, Wozniak, to get around the outside line into turn 6. They stay as they are, with Ross Sandwell in the lead of the race ahead of Anthony Wypych. Lap 3 of the race, still Ross Sandwell in the lead. Anthony Wypych, though, trying to find a way through, and there's a bit of a mistake out of the hairpin for Ross Sandwell. This gives Anthony Wypych a chance to go down the inside line. They're 3 wide. Justin Elliott getting involved as well. Brad Philpott squeezes into 2nd position. Now Kuba Wozniak going down the inside line, trying to find a way through into turn 3. Ross Sandwell sinking down the places, and oh no, there's a mistake. And into turn 3 they go very, very hard. A very nasty crash between those two drivers. We've got a red flag out on the circuit. You can see Ross Sandwell getting up from the cart very, very gingerly. A nasty, nasty accident. Thankfully, both drivers are okay. Marshall's hard at work fixing the tyre barrier, but a very, very nasty crash about halfway into this race. So ready to get back underway. Safety car peels in to the pit lane. Brad Philpott in 2nd position. Anthony Wypych in the lead of the race. We're back to green running. The heavyweights will be going again very, very shortly. 6-7 laps still to go in this race, and you can see Philpott and Wypych right next to each other, heading through turn 3 for the 5th time in this race. Is Philpott going to be able to dive down the inside line? Not at that part of the track. He's going to stay behind for the time being. Wypych still defending very, very hard in this race. Remember, Daytona Tamworth Super Champs on course to be the champion in the heavyweight class is Anthony Wypych. So hoping to make a bit of a statement here on the national stage, and Bradley Philpott not really able to challenge him at this stage. Kuba Wozniak in 3rd position after the restart. Alfie Shrub and Ross Sandwell the rest of your top 5. So thankfully Wozniak and Sandwell able to get back going again in this one. Justin Elliott's in 6th with Sonny Zacharias just at the back of the train. We're on board with Kuba Wozniak, seeing what he can do into the final corner, looking to just pressurise Brad Philpott a little bit, who's not really been able to make many inroads on Anthony Wypych's lead since this full course yellow restart. And you can see there into turn 3, Anthony Wypych actually got a good couple of tenths of a second to the rest of the field. Lap 8, only a few laps to go now, and Kuba Wozniak senses an opportunity for 2nd place down the inside into turn 6. No way through for him just there. He now is going to have to try and defend here from the kart on his inside line. Justin Elliott, who's got so much experience here, tries to go down the inside line and squeezes through as well. So Kuba Wozniak loses out, now puts his arm in the air. Looks like there's something wrong with that card. He's going to pull off to the side. Not sure what's happened, but Kuba Wozniak, for all intents and purposes, out of this race on the 8th lap. Justin Elliott goes through. Look at the gap that Anthony Wypych has managed to build ahead of Brad Philpott and Justin Elliott, who are now scrapping out for 2nd position. Justin Elliott, a veteran of Daytona Tamworth Super Champs. Not a driver I'd like to have behind me trying to defend for second position in the final of the race. And well, Brad Philpott's got his work cut out, that's for sure, as Elliott looks to the inside line into turn 7. That's an expertly made move. Absolutely seized the opportunity, did Justin Elliott, and Brad Philpott falls into third position. That's the experience of Justin Elliott around this track. Our leaders making their way through then into the final 2 corners, and what a season it's been so far for Anthony Wypych. He takes victory in the heats format here in the intermediate category. It will be Justin Elliott who holds on to second position ahead of Brad Philpott after a thoroughly entertaining battle. Let's take a look at the finishing order then at the end of that intermediate and heavyweight race, where Anthony Wypych won in the intermediate category ahead of Justin Elliott. Bradley Philpott really close to Justin at the end, but not quite able to hold on to that spot. He rounds out your podium. Ross Samuel is in 4th position, a remarkable recovery after a very nasty crash at turn number 3. Alfred Shrub making up the rest of your top 5, with Sonny Zacharias in 6th, and Kuba Wozniak your only DNF from the race. Ashley Mason King wins in the heavyweight category ahead of Henry Lopez Gracie, and Alex Pritchard in 3rd spot.
As we move into the podiums, we will start off with our heavies, and in 3rd position, 11 laps completed, best lap of 56.523, Alex Pritchard. Well done, Alex. In 2nd position, 9 tenths behind first at the end, 11 laps completed also, Henry Lopez Gracie. Well done, Henry, up you come. But in 1st position at the end, and worked really hard throughout for this. 9 tenths, as I said, clear of Henry Lopez Gracie. Part 151. Ashley Mason King. Well done, Ashley. We'll move forwards into the inters. Now, it's an incredibly close race, and it was the cause of the on-circuit incident. The close racing between these inters really did get shuffled around. In 3rd position, Bradley Philpott. Well done, up you come. 3rd place, sir. Onto the set, please. Yes, please. Justin Elliott in 2nd. Well done. But in 1st place, punching the air and well deserved as he crossed the line. 11 laps completed. Anthony Wypych, up you come. Well done. So, incredibly close racing from the inters right up until the flag.
So, as we prepare for our lightweights to get underway, we'll have a look at the grid and see Andrew McWilliam returning to Daytona Tamworth after a stint away from the circuit on pole position, with Jamie Tylee-Gooden starting alongside him on the front row of the grid. Joseph Simcock and the elusive faceless driver make up the 2nd row of the grid. Those two tied by their fastest lap point in the heats for this one. Don Balasaitis and Charlie Foster, similar story on the 3rd row of the grid, with James King and Julius Stankowiak representing Daytona Milton Keynes on row 4. Joseph Milburn is in 9th, with Thomas Williams making up the rest of the top 10. Jonah Norris and Max Murray bookend the grid as we head into this final. And we have the green flag for the lightweight final here in DMAX Nationals Round 2 at Daytona Tamworth, and it's a good start for Andrew McWilliam. Thomas Williams watching Charlie Foster try and get past Julius Stankowiak as Andrew McWilliam holds on to the lead of the race for the time being, going a little bit defensive into turn 4, but it's not going to matter because Jamie Tylee-Gooden struggling to hold off Joseph Simcock, who himself has got Don Balasaitis around the outside line into turn 5, trying to squeeze through, but he can't get himself past the Super Champs title contender that is Joseph Simcock around this circuit. Jamie Tylee-Gooden then falling off the back of Andrew McWilliam for the time being. Balasaitis now looks to attack into turn 7, gets the elbows out a little bit, but is able to find his way through and up into 4th position. The faceless driver sinks into 5th, then Andrew McWilliam holding on to the lead, but he's got Jamie Tylee-Gooden catching up a little bit in the second half of this first lap. The rest of the order, of course, James King in 6th position, Charlie Foster, Julius Stankowiak, Milburn and Thomas Williams, your top 10. There goes Charlie Foster trying to get ahead of the faceless driver, but to no avail. Thomas Williams here just ahead of Norris and Murray. As we go back to Charlie Foster, we can see him trying to attack the faceless driver. He's got James King just in front of him, and actually Foster has to go a little bit defensive because Julius Stankowiak is keeping him honest. There goes the faceless driver to the inside line of James King. Can he find a way through? By the looks of it, not quite as Stankowiak looks to go to the outside of Charlie Foster. Will have to do the switch back out of turn 6. Foster's got the inside line into turn 7. Should be relatively straightforward for us. Here goes the faceless driver. That's a very unorthodox move on the outside of James King. Is able to find a way through. Is he? No, he's onto the grass. That allows Charlie Foster to go through. We're on board with Thomas Williams as he now dives down the inside line of Milburn into 9th position. Can he seal the deal at turn 11? Just about can do so, as the faceless driver looking to recover after his trip onto the grass on the outside of turn number 8. Andrew William still in the lead though as we switch back to this shot of turn 3. Ahead of Jamie Tully-Gooden, ahead of Dom Balasaitis. Lap 3 of 14 looks relatively straightforward at the top of the field for the time being, as everyone just trying to squeeze through here. Faceless driver to the inside line. Can he get through on Julius Stankowiak? Almost makes a bump and pass. I'll be interested to see what the stewards say about that. It looks to be that the faceless driver got his elbows out, certainly there, trying to get past Julius Stankowiak. Now he's got Charlie Foster to set his sights on, then James King a little bit further down the road. Lap 4 of the race, and you're watching that battle for 5th position as Julius Stankowiak dives down the inside line of the faceless driver, able to squeeze through as well. So a well-made move down the inside of turn 4. Now moving on to lap 7 in this race. That's a late move from Charlie Foster to try and get ahead of James King. He's done it as well, but King on the switchback, able to get back through. Is he? I think he is. So Charlie Foster with a very brave move on the exit of turn 12, but didn't quite have the legs. He's now got to attack James King on the exit of turn 3 into turn 4. Julius Stankowiak, as everyone is Constantinaing into each other into that heavy braking zone, probably the heaviest braking zone on circuit, the speed you're doing into turn 4, and faceless drivers capitalised. He gets back past Julius Stankowiak. So a bit of a ding-dong battle between the two of them in the last sort of 5 minutes or so, as Stankowiak dives to the inside of turn 6 and gets the place back. It's fantastic racing between the two of them, and Stankowiak seems to just have the better of the battle for the time being, into 7th spot. 10 of the race, and that battle rages on. James King still defending from Charlie Foster. Julius Stankowiak has fallen back a little bit, just a couple of attempts to Charlie Foster, well into the clutches of the faceless driver as their battle continues as well. Not long left in this race. Let's focus in on King and Foster as they go into turn 3. You can just about see them. Foster trying to be brave, carry a little bit more speed through that corner, fastest corner on the circuit as well, hitting nearly 50 mile an hour through that part of the track. And Charlie Foster down the inside line, capitalised on a James King mistake as he gets all crossed up on the brakes, gives Foster the momentum to get through, seal the deal into turn 5. And on lap 11 of the race, Charlie Foster into P5 to race, and Andrew William coming home to take victory in the final on his return to Daytona Tamworth. What a drive from him, one of the best drivers around at this circuit, proving his worth. Thorough entertainment in that lightweight race, but Andrew McWilliam wins with relative ease ahead of Jamie Tully-Gooden and Dom Balasaitis, who complete the podium. Joseph Simcock and Charlie Foster are the rest of your top 5. A really good battle for that 5th spot, where James King ends up in 6th position, Joseph Milburn in 7th, Thomas Williams and Julius Stankowiak 8th and 9th. Faceless driver is in 10th with Jonah Norris and Max Murray, the rest of your grid.
Right up until the end, there were 2 really key battles. The battle for 3rd came down to just 3 tenths, and right at the final few moments, it was Dom Balasaitis that took that 3rd place. Well done, Dom. 1.5 seconds separated at the end, which is a bit of an unfair gap, really, because it was much closer throughout. 2nd place, Jamie Tully-Gooden. Well done. But taking the top step, and it was a masterclass of racing throughout the day today. Local driver with a lot of experience on this circuit, but that doesn't take anything away from the performance. It was faultless. He really did deserve this win. Huge round of applause. Andrew McWilliam, up you come.